Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. In the last episode we made some discussions with Krakon Crate, and he said he'd talk to Ermion and allow us to go see that site that Yennefer wanted to, which is just out in the middle of the forest out here. Right here. However, I think first things first, I'm gonna run down to Arinbjorn because Madman Lugos said that I should head down there and talk to someone about a haunted lighthouse, presumably this lighthouse. Spoiler, I know it's that lighthouse. Because there's some stuff I want to do with Madman Lugos before I continue the main story too far. Once again, somewhat metagamey of me, but whatever. Nighttime. No one here. Alright. Actually, there should be a way for me to get down here. Which is cool, and I kind of want to show it off, so I will. Come around here. Nope, not in here.
Direct ships.
Got one word. Bollocks.
Bit tired, huh?
Is it over there? It must be on the other side of the bridge. Maybe. Let me have a look, I'll sort this out. Yeah. Must be over that side of the bridge.
Grand those swords, but I prefer my trusty axe.
So we head down here. Rather than running around the edge, we can head down a bit further, I think, even. Indeed. Which allows us to use this. Take the elevator. Why not? I mean, it's a very slow elevator, but I mean, it's an elevator, so... You can also jump off the bridge, worth noting. Because Geralt's a madman and he can survive if he lands in the water. You can't actually move when you're on this, so you don't have to worry about falling off.
One of our lads tried to kill that person, you mock
Drink last night
put
too.
luck to them. And our hero fled so fast he lost his catch.
Got one word. Bollocks.
Interesting. Talking about Morkvag there, the werewolf we killed. Or rather, the bandit that was turned into a werewolf that we killed. Didn't really kill him so much because he was a werewolf, and I killed him because he was an asshole bandit. So let's head this way.
Wonder if he's as strong.
Through the town.
I am
Some fist fighting there, which we'll probably do later. I want to do all the fist fighting if I can. But today I want to head off to Arinbjorn, which means I have to head this way. While I'm here, I may as well collect some notice board stuff. Watch at the lighthouse. Ingmar, the lighthouse keeper, did not return from the last raid. May he rest soundly in Nilfgaardian soil. Who among the warriors of Clan Crate is willing to keep watch at the lighthouse? Report to Caertrolda Castle. Fair enough. Contract. Stolen sword. Olaf, lead guard at Caertrolda, would like to make a following known. Someone snuck into an Uncrate armory and stolen the sword known as Coolio. The yellow-bellied scoundrel did the deed is seen leaving the village by the southern gate. I'm kind of doing a northern accent rather than a Skulligan one. Heading towards the old fort. Whoever helps recover the sword will receive a reward worthy of his efforts, and whoever helps the thieves a death worthy of his treachery. Fair enough. Contract. Woodland beast. Warriors of Skellige. If there's a man who ye brave enough to face the woodland beast, the cruel oppressor of the inhabitants of Fairlund, he'll get a reward that'll keep him in mead for a long time. We're not rich, but we've got a fair bit of coin between us. Come to Fairland and ask for Svein. Contract. Muer Diablin. Craving glory and gold. Got a sharp blade and not afeard of death. Then come see Bjorg, the master boat builder. He's got work for you. It's the Mar Diablin in Caertrolda Bay. They need to be killed. For they've multiplied and grown so fierce you run into them even every time you leave the harbour. I can't read, apparently. Kill the beast and you'll be famed throughout all the Isles, and your purse will go heavy with gold. Gwent lessons. I'm currently taking on pupils for lessons in playing of Gwent. I shall only teach those display discipline, a logical mindset, and a will to play. Those with special aptitude are particularly welcome. Pupils must acquire and supply their own decks. Oh, it's Ermion, actually. I also am seeking more experienced players as partners to provide a challenge and chance for the mutual improvement of our skills. Ermion. I can go see Ermion play some Gwent. When I do my Skellige Gwent episode, it's probably a good idea. And fistfights. Strong as a sea lion. Slippery as an eel and ready to fight against the best. Join our tournament and face the mightiest fists in the Isles. Valrad of Keatrolder, Einar of Faroe, and Grim of Arinbjorn. Don't delay, glory and honor are just a fist fight away. Alright, so I've picked up a few quests there. One of which I think was the shipwright down here.
Who are there, Witcher? You looking for work, man?
Indeed, Bjorg.
Listen, Witcher. Got us some weird diabling. You know, drowners. Real problem. The kind your silver sword could most certainly solve.
Let me guess. They're tearing your nets, devouring your fish, and attacking the occasional lone boatman or tavern patron who walks home along the shore.
Were that the only harm? Terrors in the bay are meaner than on the continent. They hunt come dusk or dawn. Attack fishermen wielding just oars and warriors alike. Sea tosses them up after. Armor shredded, guts devoured.
Strange. Any witnesses?
Rurik, my apprentice. He was on a boat the Muir Diablin attacked. There's Tove too. Her man was killed. She lives nearby, up a bit. Sorry, none other comes to mind. Those who see the beasts, meet him, well, they generally don't come back to dry land alive.
Let's talk about my pay first. A bit too modest for my taste.
I'll go like 270, I suppose. Yep.
That's dear, it is. But could be worth it. All right, I'll pay you what you want.
I'll take the job. Dealt with drowners many times. It'll soon be over. Got my word on that.
I'm not going to do that immediately. Because as I said, I want to head up to Arinbjorn.
Vagrant.
Vagrant. So if we head this way, pretty much back the way we came. We run down this road, and we're going back towards where the crossroads were.
Beware the bandits.
Man in need. Most
Familiar
humbly
face.
beg your pardon, but I'm in quite a predicament. See, I'm a wandering juggler from occupied Temeria, and
Temeria? You sure? Not Novigrad?
what? Why Novigrad? No, I come from Maribor, and
You're not cut out for this line of work. Memory's too short. See, we've met. But you were a respected Novigrad merchant who wanted desperately to get home.
but I assure you, all right, you got me. I know this all looks bad, but I swear I'll pay you back, mate. All of it with interest. Just please don't take me to the Jarl.
Definitely won't get my coin back if I turn you in. But try to cheat me again, and I'll find you. I'll find you and I'll...
Yeah, I ain't lying. Besides, you can go to the Jarl any time you want.
Then I expect to see you later.
He was the man we met last episode, or 2 episodes ago perhaps.
That's good advice.
Sorry,
Beware the bandits. That
I don't know why I had my sword out. That wasn't intentional, but... There's still harpies around here somewhere, right? Yep. Harpies up that mountain. Which is kind of cool, because I actually killed a griffin up there. Not a griffin. What was it? A draconid of some description. It wasn't a basilisk. A wyvern, maybe? I think it might have been a wyvern. But after I'd killed them, and a couple of travel later, and then I've come back, and harpies have moved in. Which is quite cool. So now we're going to head this way. And we're going to run around the coast, essentially, to get to Arinbjorn. I love Skellige. It's such a beautiful landscape. I think I want to go this way eventually, but while I'm here, I'll sort of explore on the way. Because there's things like this. Mucknixes. I'm pretty sure at level 71 they're going to do significant enough damage that I'm want to have a Quinn up at all times. That's why you see me dodging away there. Oh, there's Drowned Dead here too, and they'll probably do enough damage to one-shot me, potentially. Because they're essentially the upgraded Drowners, whoop. So not enough damage to one-shot me. Whoop. But they're definitely doing significant damage, that's for sure. Apologies for my lack of talking here, but this is actually significantly difficult when you've got this many enemies where you can't do significant stun locking with Whirl. Looks very cool though, I've got to say that. Dismembering left and right. And this is one of the reasons that, I mean, apart from story reasons, it's one of the other reasons I wanted to come to Skellige first. Whew. Because this is just a group of drowners. And it's significantly difficult. Sweet. And, once again, side benefit, it's now morning, so easier for you guys to see. Whew. I sort of said it somewhat disjointedly while I was distracted by fighting there, but it's another reason that it's really cool to come to Skellige this early is the fact that just regular fights are actually challenging. I need to repair my silver sword. Sword repair kit. What are you actually sitting at? 49%. So if I can do like... You will probably do. Check it up to like 80. Yep. And I'll give... In fact, I think I'll just push it all the way up to 100.
That's exactly how.
He said my name, I heard him. I didn't actually say what he was saying, but I assume just thank you.
What brings it to me?
I want to sell
Wouldn't
some
mind a
stuff.
Look at your wares.
I'm also going to buy all these. Alright, I'm going to sell some stuff and I'll be back. And we're back.
Farewell.
But you're no druid.
You want the Nilfgaard, are yous?
Alright. So I think I actually want to go back the way I came a bit. Indeed, because I want to head down to Ranavig. Or Ranvig. Ranvig? Not entirely sure how you pronounce it. I've actually been there before. It's where I took the boat from when I went off on sort of my... I think it was my first episode in Skellige. I could be running along the road here, but this'll do. Hear lots of birds. It makes me assume that there's something hanging around. By which I mean like a monster or something. Which there may have been, I just didn't see it. It's also a possibility. Hey, horses. Up. Ow. Now he'll let me ride him. Or not. This one. Alright, that's a bit better. Here's where I want to go.
Go, go.
Now that I've tamed myself a horse. So going down here, I'm going to grab the notice board off here.
What became of those nice feral lads who went treasure hunting in the ruins? I don't know.
Run back to the village at once.
Why is that?
What is it?
You're clearly a fighting man with many journeys neath your belt. I'm in need of your help. You see, it's me Sonny. I'm worried. Left home a fortnight back and hasn't returned. Will you see what's become of him? Would you mind?
Where should I look for your son?
East of here, midst the ruins of the fortress. He went there with some rogues from Pharaoh. Met him at the tavern. They filled his head with nonsense about some treasure. I said, Sonny, Pharaoh folk are liars to a man. You shouldn't fraternize with them. But he knew better.
How'll I recognize him? All I know is he doesn't listen to his father. Pretty typical for his age.
His name's Olve, a cheerful lad. Bit of a lisp. Nothing special about his looks. Except last I saw him, he was wearing a yellow tunic. Lovely. None other like it in the village. Got it from me a year back, on his birthday.
That ought to do it. I'll look around. No promises, though.
Gran told me you blaspheme the gods.
Probably something that would have been on this notice board. Yeah, it was probably here, in this empty spot. Disturb importance. The druids have seen disturb importance in the guts of a sacrificial lamb. If you don't have to, don't go out to sea for the next week, and don't sign any contracts. Oyvind fulfilled his pledge. Oyvind carries out his pledge and strangled a boar with his bare hands. He died from his injuries 3 days later. Lift your horns and glasses in his memory. It's a dumb fucking pledge. The Council of Elders' decision. The Council of Elders decree that it is unbecoming that Renvig's sons and daughters should wear foreign clothes. Whoever notices a woman wearing continental lace, satin or silk can tear it off her into pieces, then and there. Similarly, if a warrior starts dressing up in useless glittery armor or boots with golden buckles, he'll be severely punished. That's interesting, actually. I guess because they're at war with Nilfgaard, they don't want any, like, imports. It's kind of similar to, like, a, what's the word for it? I can't remember the word for it. An embargo. Interesting. The white whale is mine. If you see a white whale in the sea, let it swim on. It's mine. If anyone catches it before me, Freya be my witness. I'll stab that wretch to death with me harpoon. Ishmael. Moby Dick reference. Nathan. I'm asking for help for any who can give it. Someone has cast a cruel and treacherous curse on my line for which I cannot find a remedy. If you're skilled in undoing such charms, or even if you've heard of a worthy cunning man or peller who has such a gift, seek me out in my house near Renveig, and rescue me from this misfortune. I shan't spare the coin in recompense. Lothar. Okay. So we got some more information there.
Uh-oh.
Greetings.
Uh-oh.
Greetings.
That was weird.
Mind if I have a look at your herbs?
I doubt she's gonna buy anything I want to sell to her. Nah, not really.
See ya.
Fare thee well.
Fare thee well.
Oh, beg your pardon.
You'll actually, I apologize if you hear me quoting some of the people that I'm talking to, but I need to open my repertoire of Scottish and or Irish accents. Because some people in Skellige are Scottish and some are Irish. They're mainly Irish, but occasionally you get someone who's just clearly Scottish. They're kind of Celtic, is probably a better way of describing it. Apparently I saw a bandit camp there, but I'm not going to clear it out yet. Heading to Arinbjorn. I think I'll get to Arinbjorn in this episode, and then next episode we'll probably do this quest, and then maybe another one. But I think time-wise it'll probably take me a bit to get there. So I'll head out here for now. So let's head up this side. And I'll just follow the road for the most part, I think. I think that's the house of the guy who's been cursed. So I'll come back there later. Grab some... grab all my flowers along the way. Beautiful day. You often get storms in Skellige. When you get a sunny day, it's... ugh. I just love this place so much. It's so much cleaner than Velen and Novigrad. I don't actually want to come to this village yet, because there's a few quests and stuff you can do in this village. But I want Fairland. Yeah, there we go. It's a quest I've got here later. However, I'll come back there later. One of my contracts was from Fairland, I believe. Let me get rid of this. I think I'll find out what this question mark is. Go here, here, run across to here, then run down to Arinbjorn. That's my plan, anyway. I could take a horse here, but I like sort of running it the first time you go through. Because going a bit slower, like, it takes longer, but you get to see all this really cool stuff that you would otherwise miss. And there should be like a circle back down the side of this. I think it's... I don't think it's anything particularly special. I think it's just a bandit camp, but... what I should actually do is put some... Hangman's Venom, which will increase my damage against humans. Oh, it's not even a bandit camp, it's a person in distress. Well, okay, it's both. It's a bandit camp, which is holding a person. Hey, bitch.
Shit in your pants. Devil's blood beast. Get down. Down. Hey, cover.
It's worth noting that, humans tend to do more damage than monsters. Or rather, Geralt has better defense against monsters. So it's possible these guys will be able to one-shot me. Although they're lower level than those, they're lower level than the, than the, what do you call it, drowners that I fought before. That was absolutely sweet. I don't think... Whoops. I wasn't paying attention there. I have the upgraded axes, so I should be able to take control of these guys, but I don't think I can actually take control of guys who are... who have like the skulls above their heads, where they're too high level for me. It doesn't seem like it anyway. Decapitated. Cage key. So presumably I can now save this guy.
Thanks, mate. Fairland, you know the place. I've been forged there. Come and visit. I'll have a reward for you.
Sweet.
Thanks, mate. Fairland, you know the place. I've been forged there. Come and visit. I'll have a reward for you.
Alright, cool. So that was the town that we just sort of ran past and I didn't go into yet. So that's something, I guess. I can get a reward there later from this blacksmith. Assuming that he doesn't die along the way, which I'm pretty sure can happen. I'm sure I've rescued people and then I've never found them again. I'm tempted to meditate to get some potions back, but I'm sure I'll be fine. We head up here, there should be like a village.
If only it were a troll, a chort, a griffin, nesting in our lighthouse. Gather some lads, grab our swords and cut the beast to pieces. How can you fight a raid? No steel and wounded, no armor protect you from it.
They say it takes silver to defeat a ghost. That or magic.
I believe they're actually talking about this lighthouse over here that they're currently looking at. Whoa. Sirens. I think they're actually talking about the lighthouse that I'm heading to. That, Madman Lugos told me that was haunted. And they're, by the sounds of it, for those who missed it, they're maligning the fact that it's a ghost and they don't know how to fight a ghost. If it's like an animal, they could, or a beast, they could attack it and try and beat it, but they don't know how to fight a ghost.
I know you're good.
Oh, do you know? So that's just a small village with nothing in particular on it, I guess. So if I follow this road, it would take me up towards the lighthouse, but I don't want to go there. I want to head here first. So I want to head this way.
Next raid, I'm going with them. So who'll mind the sheep?
I can hear dogs barking. But I think that's just the dogs from the village. I don't think there's like wild dogs or anything. I believe this is another abandoned site. Which speaks to how much I've played these games that I can recognize that. Yep. Bandits.
Your mum shot you out. Now the grave will take you back.
What I first have to figure out... Found it. Ow. You, die. Whoop. I need to kill the one with the bow first. There we go. Now I'm not so worried, because I don't think any of the others have bows. That I can see anyway. These guys are actually my level, so I can probably... I'm gonna test this theory. And see if it is just because of the guys that have like the skulls on their names. There we go. Well, that didn't last long. Oh, so this guy's level 70, so I don't think I can take him, but... When guys are your level, Axie is powerful. Because it pretty much... It doesn't guarantee you an instant kill, but... It pushes it up to like a good 50% pretty much. Whoop. Uh-oh. Whoa, that was close. Sweet. It's now getting towards nighttime, so I think I'll actually meditate until morning. In this newly saved... It's not really a village, I think it's like a logging camp, but... These people can now log here again, so that's always something for them.
Vagabond.
I think there should be like... Yep, here's one. Geralt, our hero. Whoop. I mean, that's one way to climb the stairs, Geralt, okay. Usually whenever you save these places, there's a
stranger.
merchant.
Looking to buy?
Once again, I'll cut this out, but if he's
Show
got
me your wares.
money, then I'll sell it too. Sell stuff. Alright, we're back.
So
He didn't actually... In fact, I may not even cut that out, because he just didn't have enough money to be able to buy pretty much any of my stuff. I think I sold him a sword and, like, a shirt. I think I'll meditate by this fire. And go till, like, dawn. Although dawn in Skellige is actually probably closer to, like, 5 o'clock rather than 6 o'clock. But, whatever. That's given me all of my potions and stuff back. And... I believe if I go over here, there's some, like, specters and stuff I can clear out. But, the way we're looking for time, I think I'm actually going to do that. I should do it now. I'm just thinking about, like, the way that it's going to line up time-wise. And I think this actually is correct. It'll be a longer episode. It'll make today's episode longer, but ultimately I think it'll work out better for me. Assuming this is where I think it is, and I'm pretty sure it is. It's like some, yeah. They're like old graves, essentially. This one, actually... insectoids, like... I was sure I would have been attacked by a spectre there. Going inside a grave usually means you're attacked by a spectre. Not always, but... often the case. Although I suppose there's actually people living in here, which is interesting. Oh! And I found some wolven stuff. Apparently, so there's Witcher gear here, for anyone wondering. Fair enough. Alright, well that was a quicker detour than I expected it to be. It's possible that there's like a night wraith there or something, so you're only attacked if it's nighttime. Or like maybe there's just normal wraiths there and they just so happened not to come. Wolves, it's fine. Drummond Shieldmate. Clan Drummond. And here we are.
Can you toss an axe? Me brother can.
Last night was...
Down to Arinbjorn. Peter is a grifter. Good folk, beware of Peter, who is a grifter, has no honour, and is a scum of Skelliger. The bear grease he sold me turned out to be goose fat. May lightning strike him and the sea slurp him down. Interesting how they would tell the difference between bear grease and goose fat. They're both kind of white fat, aren't they? Boat builder seeking an apprentice. Look for a smart lad with a knack for woodworking. Works hard but pays well. Surety. Or Yurdy. Surety? I don't know how you pronounce that name. Mattis has regained his honour. Mattis, who refused to go to sea for his Jarl last spring, threw himself on his sword. He thus wiped away his shame and regained his good name. May the gods welcome him in their halls, the Council of Elders. It's this kind of stuff that makes me kind of... like, I like the idea of redemption that Skelligers seem to have. Is that it's very easy to disgrace oneself, but at the same time, I mean, it's not like it's easy, he died. But if you die honourably, you're not forgotten. Or rather, I suppose your discretion is forgiven, maybe, is a better way of saying it. Looking to buy a harpoon. I broke my harpoon on a whaling trip. Need a new one. Has to be the highest quality. Don't you try cheat me or I'll pay you with blood. Newt. Or Nut. It's funnier if his name's Nut, so I'm gonna go with that. A warning. Got a taste of my darling Hilda. Prepare to taste my axe. Or more. And contract. The Phantom of Elderberg. If you got this far, clearly you know how to read, so read the rest and read well. A wraith sprung up in Eldberg, and covered the whole isle in fog, and put out the light in our lighthouse. If you're afraid to face a ghost in battle, stay far from Eldberg, for there you'll find neither gold nor glory, only death. But if you've faced such phantoms before, then know that I, your Rund of Arinbjorn, will pay my own gold to you if you drive off the spirits from our clan's territories. And that there is the quest we're going to do next time. Before we go today, I'm going to read all these books that I didn't read before. Oh, this is something we had for long ago. Interesting. The Chronicles of Redania. Fridunk, the elf, despite what one might conclude from his moniker, not one drop of elven blood flowed in King Vridunk's veins. They called him the elf because of his exceptional beauty, and for the great admiration he felt for the Enshe. This fascination, seemingly harmless, would have horrible long-term consequences. King Fridunk, spitting in the face of all law and customs, chose as his wife a half-elf, and one of low status at that. Known as Beatrix of Kavir, the fruit of his regrettable and short-lived mésalliance was Falca, who later fomented bloody revolt against her own father. Through this uprising was ultimately extinguished and Falca herself burnt at the stake. The young state was therefore thrown into chaos for years to come, or thereafter thrown into chaos for years to come. The revolt of Falca was particularly bloody. The Last Wish. Human life requires 3 things for its sustenance: food, drink, and gossip. It is thus no wonder that no matter where I travel, be it icebound Provis or even Green Tucson, everyone asks me about the passions that bind Geralt and the sorceress Yennefer of Vengerberg. As a man both cautious and discreet, I refuse to betray their secrets. This is clearly written by Dandelion. With one important exception. The history of their first encounter is so extraordinary, so romantic and moving, that it would be a veritable crime to hide its light beneath a brushed blanket. Indeed, had I not witnessed these events in person, I would never believe there was room in our grim and dark world for such fantastic marvels. It all began when Geralt and I were feeling a bit peckish and unburdened by heavy coin pouches decided to fish our supper out of a lake. No bites were to be had, but we did not leave empty-handed. My hook snagged quite a lovely little pot. Oblivious to my friend's warning, I opened it, and in doing so freed a powerful djinn. It's also worth noting that the reason they didn't catch any fish was because Dandelion refused to listen to Geralt. They had a really big catfish, but yeah. Dandelion didn't listen. Not at all surprising that he left that part out of the story. Good old Dandelion. Without giving it much thought, I set about proclaiming my wishes. Before I could get to 3, however, the djinn, irritated, I see now in hindsight it being issued demands so soon after waking, began to throttle me. Geralt was able to drive him off, but I was left in a sorry state. I acted, the Witcher told me later, as though under the influence of some curse. Clearly the help of an expert in the magic arcana would be needed. It was good fortune that Yennefer of Vengerberg happened to be staying in a nearby village. Geralt went to her asked to heal his best friend, who happened also to be the brightest star in the Norse poetic firmament. Yennefer, however, was more interested in the djinn, which she wanted to trap into magical servitude, than in its victim, and, it should be said, played the Witcher like a well-strung mandolin. Yet, rather than grow angry at being used in such a calculating manner, he fell white head over muddy boots in love with her. It's also kind of true, she did play him like a mandolin. What happened then? Well, I won't go into details. Suffice it to say that Yennefer's plans hardly delighted the djinn, and without its cooperation she proved unable to tame it. The sorceress would surely have met her tragic end, and taken all of Rinda along with her, had Geralt not rushed in to her rescue. For once, he did not need to draw either of his blades, to send the djinn packing. He had but pronounced the 3rd and final wish. He would have asked for anything, wealth, fame, power. But instead he asked the djinn to bind his fate to that of the arrogant yet intriguing sorceress from Vengerberg. Julian Alfred Pankratz, Viscount of Lethoven, born 1232, award-winning poet, playwright and troubadour, frequent performer at the courts of Niedermeyer, Vizima, Venslav, and many other nobles and notables. Almonds of Oxenfurt Academy. So that's Dandelion's taking of the meeting of Yennefer and Geralt, as well as Dandelion. I mean, he was out of commission for most of that meeting, but true to her word, she did actually save him. Kavir and Provis. Kavir and Provis are without a doubt the richest realms in the north. Few today remember that that was not always the case, yet their poverty was once literally on everyone's lips, in the form of now antiquated common sayings. As recently as the days of Herbert the Quarrelsome, one spoke of a particularly impoverished person as being poorer than a mouse from Provis, called bone broth, Kaviri delight, and referred to beggars as Praxedes, after the bay along the shores at which their kingdoms lie. Similarly, few remember that a mere handful of generations ago, Kovir and Popus were still a part of Redania. King Radovid I, known as Radovid the Great, handled dominion over them to his hated brother Troyden, with one stipulation, that he never leave his newly acquired Demosne? Demosne? I think it's Demosne, but I've never actually seen it written, and not interfere in matters of state. Handing over this rocky scrap of far northern ground, where, the saying went, the year had 2 seasons, August and winter, was naturally met as a cruel joke, a slap in the face of the other ambitious Troyden. Yet, time soon proved that Radovid the Great had made a grave error. Before long it was discovered that Kovir's bare rock hid priceless treasures in the form of enormous deposits of precious metals and rock salt. This discovery, in turn, led to a tremendous growth in productive industry. Mills, forges, and workshops sprouted up like mushrooms after a hearty rain. Radovid III decided to correct his famous forebear's mistake and take back the northern frontiers of his kingdom. He was convinced that combined armies of Redania and its then ally Kedwen would quickly bring this ever more audacious vassal in line. History took a different turn, however, and Kovir won a resounding, crushing victory. Radovid III was forced to sign the first Treaty of Lanexeter, granting Kovir independence while binding it to eternal neutrality, a promise Troyden's successors have kept with great diligence. Until recently, Kovir was ruled by Estrad Thycene, or Tycene, I think it's Tyson, a king as wise as he was greedy, yet his ultimate demise did not stop this land from continuing to develop and blossom. Koviri metallurgists proudly complete with the best Mahakam can offer, and many believe that University of Lanexeter long ago surpassed the famous Oxenford Academy as the leading seat of higher learning in the north. And so it has come to pass that over the course of a few generations, the inhabitants of Kovir and Pobus have turned it from paupers to princes, from beggars into bankers. Tales of the Wild Hunt. The island folk of Skellige, like many nations of the north, hold a series of beliefs about the Wild Hunt as recorded in legends, myths, and fables. This horrifying phenomenon is said to herald the coming of war and misfortune. Characteristic of their tale and distinguish them from their continental versions is the islanders imagine the Wild Hunt not as a cavalcade of wraiths galloping across the night sky, but as a ghostly longship. The vessel, called the Naglfar, is said to be built of the claws of dead men. For this reason, superstitious Skelligers remove the nails of the dead, expressly to prevent them from being used to fortify this ghastly ship. In many legends, the Naglfar sails out of Morhog, the land of chaos. The White Frost. One can hear Ithlin's prophecy whispered at every market, garbled and reused by every village witch, delved into in any treatise touching on sooths and diviners, and in general saturating our common culture. We all know that the time of the wolf's blizzard approaches, the time of the White Frost, and that the world will perish amid ice. But few truly understand the meaning of these words. The self-proclaimed prophets who shout out Ithlin's words mistake stars reflected in a still pool for the sky, for the White Frost is no legend or mythical apocalypse. It is a natural phenomenon that can be described in the dry yet precise language of scholarship. The renowned scholar of Thorn's studies have clearly shown that our world is not the centre of the universe, but one of 1,000 such globes spinning in the endless darkness of space. This space is usually described as a vacuum, yet to do so is grossly misleading, for though this vacuum swims invisible to the naked eye, the White Frost. We do not know exactly what the White Frost is, perhaps a microscopic dust that blocks the incoming light of the sun, perhaps infinitesimal particles of the sort populated by the Macretes of Bernard, with the unusual property of sucking up warmth as a sponge does water. We know for certainty, however, that thanks to the telescopic observations of elven astronomers, the White Frost, whatever it is, has already destroyed a great many worlds. Star systems in which it appears perish into lifeless hunks of ice over the course of a few decades. Furthermore, every scholar has agreed that the White Frost will one day come to our world. Ithlin's prophecy, though based on magic intuition and not scientific observation, thus appears to foretell the truth. Many mages are skeptical about the thesis presented here. I recommend they carry out the same experiment I have conducted in my own laboratory, using the spell porter's astrum. Open a microscope portal for 3.5 seconds to the coordinates 0331 4890 8927 0934. Yet before you do, dress in your warmest furs and ready an axe for breaking through thick ice. Contract already read. Yep, so I've already read all these contracts. Cool. And with that, we're going to end today's episode. So I'll say thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time, where we're going to take on this haunted lighthouse that we've heard a fair amount about now, just by overhearing conversations and being told directly by the Jarl Madman Lugos. So I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, horses. Hup. Ow.